Hey, good afternoon. My name is Dan Whitfield. I'm the independent candidate running for.
Tom Cotton?
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
So, yeah, I see y'all are out here today. Show some support in some way or another.
We support anti-BLM motherfuckers, so that's what we're here for.
Don't let the sun go down.
Don't let the sun go
So,
down.
like a sundown town?
Huh?
A sundown town? That's what they used to call them.
It's a sundown town, that's right, and we love Tom Cotton.
Okay.
We're Tom Cotton lovers around here.
And may I ask why you specifically support sundown towns?
Support what?
Sundown towns?
Well, every species on this earth has its own territory, except for one. Us, because we keep giving it away.
So, as species, you mean human being?
No, as species, I mean the white race.
Now,
Non-monkeys.
non-monkeys.
You recording this? I hope so.
Oh, yeah, we're live streamed, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you do understand that African Americans, white Americans, Asian Americans, every single different race is still the same species, right?
No, sir, I do not. The wolf and the coyote look alike, but they're separate species. The jackal is a separate species.
And we are a lot more similar despite our different skin colors than...
We're not going to let nobody's coming to this town and knock the window out, I guarantee you.
Nobody's coming here to knock any windows out, don't
They're
worry.
doing it around the country.
They
They're
are.
burning our cities down, so why
They're blinding police with lasers. That's not protest. That's not...
Now, for here in Arkansas specifically, throughout all the BLM protests, there's never been violence or destruction of property.
There was a lower primate carrying a flamethrower trying to march on a home of a friend of mine. I take that a little personal.
A lower primate?
Yes, a lower primate with a flamethrower. And I came across half the United States of America because I kind of object to that.
And did he use the flamethrower?
No, because he would be dead by now.
Are you registered to vote?
Yes, in Maryland, but that doesn't count.
Oh. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, pretty good, thank you. So basically what I'm here to do today is try to start conversations to bridge the gap, because there's obviously a difference in
If you want to
ideology.
bridge the gap as far as different ideologies, that's possible. If you want to bridge the evolutionary gap, I wish you would. We were made different for a reason. Even the media will occasionally admit that little fact. Remember when they found Chandra Levy's bones that entered in Washington, D.C.? The media accidentally let it slip that you can tell a person's race from the skeletal structure. You can tell a person's race by their brain, by their frontal lobes. So we are not all the same. We are similar. But similar and like is totally
You might want to get a shot of this right here.
Yeah. How's it going, man? It's nice to actually have the face to the name, man. So,
Please don't tell me what the Klan did 100 years ago. Please tell me what Black Lives Matter did 10 minutes ago. They're shooting police. They're shooting 5-year-olds in front of their kids. If you've ever lived with blacks, if you've ever seen the people that they've hurt, and I've been on 3 continents, and I've seen their victims on 3 continents, I do not particularly like them, but that doesn't give me the right to hurt them. But I don't want nothing to do with them, and that is sole freedom of association. If you're running for Senate...
are you touching my car, sir? Please stay away from my vehicle.
Stir up some shit in this town and see what happens.
Let's see. Okay.
Well, I think the civilized dialogue may have taken a turn for the worse.
Well, some people are not going to be willing to talk, but I'm willing to talk. I think that's how we're going to make progress with
Too many people are
this.
willing to talk, but not too many are willing to listen.
I would love to listen. If you wouldn't mind listening.
Fair enough.
So, one of the things that we do need to address that's really important is BLM. We're not an organization here. BLM is just a movement to bring attention to inequality, a lack of justice, and which has led to no peace. And
And the white nationalist movement is kind of a similar thing. It's a people's resistance to political correctness, which is a form of society destroying anarchy, which seems to only target white people. I don't see Africans becoming a minority in Africa. I don't see Asians becoming a minority in Asia. But yet, Europe, America, Australia, New Zealand, all at once. Don't you think it's just a little odd that every single white society on this earth all decided when it's just been time to disarm, to displace its own people, and to silence anybody who objects?
so,
All in this matter of the false god of diversity.
is the main concern then that we will lose the majority of white population in America and it will change?
Well, I think change. I want to try and answer your question in a way that can't be misinterpreted. I don't really fear being a minority because that's going to be a temporary state of affairs. Once they're a majority, they're going to vote themselves anything they want. Once they do that, they're going to cause problems. You can't simply rob people blind 24/7 without repercussions. They're going to establish a tyranny, and that tyranny will be the basis for ending that tyranny. So no, I don't really fear becoming a minority. It's unfortunately, this country, it's not going to end well for your side or mine. There's too many people that don't belong here. There's too many ideologies that conflict, and there's simply not enough to go around. Earth is not going to support 7 billion privileged minorities who you say can do no wrong, but whose DNA says they can do no right. There's not going to be a future for everybody. Look me in the eye and tell me that 6, 7 billion, 10 billion people, they're all going to make 6 figures and have a house in the suburbs. It ain't going to happen. That's not racist. That's reality. There's not
And
enough
I think,
for everybody.
and that's part of the problem. And I think as we start to address things like that being the problem, then we can come up with solutions. Like,
the problem with doing that is every time the poor starving darkies are starving, then bleeding hearts won't feed them. And what do? They make more starving darkies. And eventually, we can't feed the starving niggas that we got. So why not else should we create more? Why? Unless you really want to cause trouble.
and
Look at
on that
Somalia.
same note, like a majority of the people that are on government assistance are actually white Americans, not black Americans.
But they don't make a career out of it. There's generations of black people that have never worked.
And a lot of that comes back down to the systemic racism that is the problem of what these symptoms we're seeing are, like a lack of educational opportunities.
Well,
where
this is people that sat in the jungle for centuries and ate each other. So I think their educational opportunities were somewhat limited. They have more.
well, I'm talking about
They had
like
no
our
schools. Before whites, they had no
generations.
schools. There was no word for freedom in non-white cultures before they met us. Now, how do you explain that?
Well,
If
actually,
one
Arkansas.
black man invented the wheel, the next black man would have invented carjacking. That's what they are. There's a level they're not going to rise above. And where they do perform, where they do make any accomplishments at all, they seem to do better amongst all races. They just get enough of them together, they bring out the worst in each other.
And I think when you, like what you're kind of referring to is more urban areas that would be higher minority
No, actually,
population.
it's everywhere. From the jungles of the Congo to the jungles of Baltimore City and everywhere in between. Wherever you have them, you have problems. Even black people that have lived on deserted islands, North Sentinel Island off the coast of India.
Well, that's just
That's
because.
Negroes that have never met a white man. So racism can't be their problem. You could go meet them, but you ain't gonna. So how do you explain that?
But
how do
we're-
you explain people that have never been exposed to this mythical beast you call racism have the same behavioral problems, if not worse? That's kind of.
And these are all different issues that aren't actually directly reflected upon, like here in America and what we're facing with our society and the problems that are causing these issues.
Well, the only problem is the people that seem to want to murder or mongrelize whites out of existence. If you destroy my DNA and my freedom, that's kind of a deal breaker for me.
Well,
I've kind of come attached to my DNA. It goes with me everywhere. I never leave home without it.
and it's really interesting because as a species, the human race, it's inevitable that we are going to mix and we're going to have a melting pot of cultural differences.
Frankenstein had the same policy, and no, it's not inevitable. We're going to reach enough people in time to change it.
But how would you change it? Just kill everybody that's not white?
No comment. Whatever. The ends justifies the means when extinction is at hand.
But the ends never does justify the means.
Well, then tell that to the government because they're doing it to us. We did not start it.
The government has.
I did not decide to make Chinese a minority in China. They decided to make whites a minority in America and in Sweden.
But
and
we're really
Germany.
not a minority, though.
Yeah, effectively we are. Considering how many whites hate each other, considering how many are breeding with the enemy, considering how many have a vested interest in our destruction. Yeah, we are essentially a minority
But-
as of now.
The enemy?
And there's the exhibit. How the hell did he not be on the side of his own people? Who told you it was right to hate your own people? Why the hell were you stupid enough to believe that?
But you don't have to hate your own people to. My wife.
Apparently he does. He just said it's good for them to be a minority.
I mean, my wife, she's from the Philippines, and I don't. It's not a problem. I love my wife dearly, but I don't hate white
Well, you're on
people.
camera,
I
so you
don't
better say
hate.
that, or else your wife is going to get sued. No, that's your problem. If you do not value yourself, if you do not value your people, that's your problem.
So
I
by.
cannot help you.
But I'm not asking for your help because I don't feel like it is a problem.
Less than human.
I think I just did. But for those keeping score, yes.
Oh man, this guy. My wife is not human because she's not white. Okay. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk with me. I appreciate it. What was your name, sir?
Al.
Al, my name's Dan.
Yes.
Al, fuck you, Al.
Well, you're not the first to say that. You're certainly not going to be the last. But keep it peaceful.
Oh, y'all are registering for voters?
Yes.
That's so awesome.
Yes.
Thank you guys for coming out to do that.
No,
Oh,
thanks to you
man.
for coming back. We were here last week. But
Yeah.
We're Boone County Democrats, and the only way to truly make change is to vote.
I
So we're here to
completely
register
agree.
anyway.
And we've got until October the 5th to get everybody registered.
Right. We've
So right now we are working on getting our reply brief filed. We have been approved for our oral arguments, and my lawyer is in the process of getting us, for September, the oral argument schedule has already been set, but there are lower priority cases, basically small state cases that are already scheduled in there. So we are trying to get ourselves swapped out with one of them because it would cause irreparable harm if we are not able to have our case heard before voting starts in October.
Yeah, that's a good argument.
Yeah, so that's what we're working at right now. But we have been approved for oral arguments. The court will hear our case. The Attorney General's office has filed, I think, 6 times now to have our case dismissed, and they've been denied every time. So, but,
She doesn't become our governor.
well, I don't think she'll become our governor.
Gonna fight her for that.
It's going to be a
Yeah,
really
that-
interesting
that'll be an
Republican
interesting
primary.
Yeah.
Because they'll have Sarah Sanders, Leslie Rutledge, and then the Lieutenant Governor Tim Griffin is also looking for. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, what's up, bud?
Thanks for coming out. Yeah.
We're going to register people to vote.
All right, let's see here.
Good luck on
So,
your court case, Dan.
oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And if you just follow along, I try to keep all the updates as often as possible.
I don't watch your live videos as much as I did.
Get
But
out.
No
what
problem.
do you? So, worst case for you
not live right now,
is
are
you lose, right?
Mhm.
What do you do with your campaign money? I'm not sure how much there is.
Uh-huh.
What do you do with it then? How do you
So-
allocate for whatever's next? Right?
I'm still learning a lot because rolling funds from a federal campaign into a different campaign has never been the main priority. So I never really did as much research as I could have done. And I'm still learning. But what I'm going to do is every single person who's donated to my campaign will be given an invitation to a private meeting. And I'll have a meeting where I discuss our different options, what's going on, and the different things we could do with the campaign funding, the funds that are in there that are legal ways to manage the funds. And I'll let everybody vote on what they want me to do with it. And I think that's just the best way to do it because it's their money and they should be deciding how it is spent or rolled over or what to do with it.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Okay, cool.
Right? Hi again.
How you been?
Good, thank you.
Got some beautiful days.
All right, let's see here.
Did they win yesterday?
So, this is going to be an interesting day. That was an interesting gentleman I met. When I came here last week, I was still a little bit ignorant of everything that was going on. I came in kind of one-sided and maybe said some things that I shouldn't have said, like accusing people of being part of the Klan because they were handing out Klan pamphlets. So I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm going to talk to as many people as possible so that I can try to understand why they're here and why they have the views that they have and see if there's any way we can come to a common ground. But that gentleman we just met, yeah, wow, he literally, wow. I hope y'all, once I finish my live stream and it's up, I will most definitely be taking segments out of that so you guys can see some of the most ignorant of what America has to offer. And I do not believe he's from Harrison. He doesn't reflect upon the people from Harrison because Harrison does have some really good people. There's just a few bad eggs. And unfortunately, that egg right there was rotten and spoiled. I did what I could to try to talk to him so I could understand. But they didn't seem like they really wanted, he talked. It's just we have a difference of opinion. I don't think the color of someone's skin or how much melatonin they have in their body makes them any less human or has anything to do with race. So, but that's just where his opinion comes from. And a lot of the talking points he used are common Klan talking points. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how this day progresses. Right now it is about 15 minutes to 12 or to 1, sorry. And, we're going to start around 1, and I'm really going to try to make this about, having conversations with people and trying to understand, why they're here and what they believe. So I guess we can probably, since I'm over with people supporting the BLM movement, I can start here. Hey man, how's it going? Would you mind just talking to people a little bit about why you're here and why you support the BLM movement, what it means to you?
Sure. I'll talk about it.
I'm gonna come a little bit closer here, but you're not on the camera or anything. It's on me.
Look, we're in Harrison, Arkansas here. Everybody knows Harrison, Arkansas's reputation. They know what it's about. And for the last few years, I thought that it was exaggerated. That hate, you know, it's just an outlier. It doesn't really exist here, you know. It's just a few, you know, bad apples, as it were. Moving, you know, since the uprising and the BLM movement, and with the election coming up, tensions are getting high here in Harrison. They are, and I feel it's important for us locals to come out and show these people who are demonstrating that we are with them. That there are people here who will stand up with you. I will stand up with you, and so I have time. And you know, Black Lives Matter.
It's pretty simple.
It's a pretty simple concept,
right? Man, now I do want to point out that although we get a bad name here in Harrison, there are still a lot of good people here, and it really is, for the most part, a few not so good people with different ideologies, like the gentleman that we had just met. But in the majority, from the people I've spoken with in Harrison, a lot of them are good people, and they understand what's going on and are fighting to change it in ways that we had not even talked about before. They're having community events. They're trying to get all these race issues settled within their community. So a majority of people here are good. It's just, unfortunately, there are bad eggs, such as every community has, and people with different ideologies. But hopefully their ideologies
I would
that keep...
suggest that if the majority of people here were good, they'd be out here with us.
Right? So I would like to see that. You know, if y'all are here and you're local, come out and show support. Don't be scared by those guys over there. You know, come and join us out here today. Bring a mask, be socially distant, and, you know, just look forward to holding conversations with people so we can kind of understand where they're coming from, and then they can listen to us in response and kind of understand where we're coming from. Thanks, man.
Hey,
Let me see.
in the car. You got some in the car?
Let's see.
Hey, Mom.
I'm gonna grab a case of water out of the car real quick.
Why? Melissa. Why?
All right. I'm just gonna put this case of water over here. Problem. This is gonna be a warm one today. So I guess let's go for a quick walk around the block here.
The American flag. You have American veterans among you. Please be respectful.
So she's with the group that goes around protecting public property. Let's come around this way real quick. But all in all, it seems pretty calm here in Harrison today. It is a lot more sunny today than it was last weekend. We were blessed enough to have a cloud cover all day. So it's going to be a little bit warmer. Let's see. So this is kind of the square here. There's not a whole lot going on. Nationwide. See General. Wow, what a beautiful day out here in Harrison, Arkansas. So we are going to be looking to have some positive conversations and try to make some progress. This is where their militia was standing last weekend over in this area here. Is that Damon? That is. Let's see. That's nationwide. Coming around this way, there's not a whole lot going on. Again, it's not supposed to start for another 10 minutes or so. So it actually looks like there are far fewer people here this weekend than there were last. Hey. How's it going?
Pretty good, waiting for Aaron and the others to get here as well.
Oh, they're over on the other side.
Are you kidding?
Yep, everyone just pulled over on the other side here, right on the other side of the building where y'all can't see them.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, how's it going, man?
Good. Good.
It's good to see you again.
Same.
Oh.
Is everybody over there?
Yeah, everybody's just on the other side of the building where you can't see them.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was
Oh.
kind of walking around back behind here. There's a lot of talking to some folks, and
For sure.
I'm here to record conversations.
So you're here to record conversations. That's
Yes.
your goal today.
That's my goal today.
Awesome. I'm here to do the same thing. Hopefully we can get some good productive conversations, people talking and listening. Hopefully not a lot of arguing. I mean, it can really be hard. I was already tested a little bit this morning. But, you know, a lot of them will be willing to listen if you allow them to talk and you actually take the time to listen as well. It probably won't change their minds. He still thinks my wife is an inferior human being, but at least he listened to me try to explain why she's not. Man, it was quite a drive today. It's Labor Day weekend, and the traffic through Eureka Springs was terrible. It took me about 45 minutes to get through Eureka Springs today.
I believe that. I very much believe that. All right, man.
Cool. And I started looking at some of that video footage. Dang, man. What should I use to open those video files?
VLC media player.
Get VLC?
Yep.
Okay, I'll do
VLC
VLC.
is the way to go.
The drone footage came right up, but not the other stuff, I think, from the Lumix.
Yeah, it's weird. You know, new codecs. So
For sure.
they're getting smarter, but
Cool beans, dude.
VLC.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So we're coming around to this side, the courthouse here. So a little bit of a view of what's going on. These are people that support the BLM movement. They put a tent up and they are registering voters here, which is really awesome. We need people registered to vote. There's some more people pulling up. And then over on this side, there's only about 6 people over here. So there's not a whole lot of people. But of course, you know, we're expecting more people to come as the day progresses. I'm planning on staying here until probably about 5 o'clock, depending on how it's looking and how productive the conversations are. But I feel like that should be enough time for enough people to talk and, you know, listen to each other's concerns. All right. So looks like we've already got medics over here. And then we have some people that are armed as well. Awesome. So all right. Man, Vivian, I totally understand, but it's just so hard because if you start to get really argumentative or violent or anything like that, then they're just going to shut down and they're not even going to try to listen or give you the chance to talk. Let's see here. I'll read some. Oh yeah, it is a cute town. In case you haven't been, I'll kind of go around the square a little bit. Now, the last time when I did my tour and came to Harrison, I actually, a 76-year-old gentleman had approached me, and we talked for a bit because not a lot of people showed up to Harrison. It was short notice. And one of the things that he explained to me, I asked him, because a lot of these little shops, they're all closed down. They're out of business. So I asked him, of course, was it COVID-19 that caused all these businesses to go out, or, what caused this? And he had actually explained to me that this square right here, this was the center of town. It was popping here. Everything was full. The economy was doing really good for mom and pop shops. And what happened was Walmart came in, and within a few years, half of these shops were out of business. So it's really sad to see. I mean, Walmart's great for consumers because we can go in, get stuff cheap. They have everything we need in one shop. But then the problem is it really hurts our small businesses. And I think one way that we can address issues like that from happening and allow Walmart to come in, but then also allow small businesses to be able to match their prices so that small businesses don't go out of business, would be to enforce taxation on giant companies like Walmart and Amazon that avoid taxation almost altogether and make them pay a flat 25%, which is 12% less than the corporate rate that they're supposed to be paying. When they, claim that, America has the highest tax rate in the world, the highest corporate tax rate in the world, well, at 37%, but the problem is our giant corporations that are profiting hundreds of billions of dollars, they don't pay those taxes. They use legal tax evasion loopholes, laws that were put into place by legislators who they helped get into office to put those laws into place. And what that does is it just hurts our society and economy all the way around. The only people who benefit from things like this and legislation like this are the owners of like Walmart, the Waltons, like Bezos, Bill Gates, people like that. So what I would like to see done is I would like to see companies like Walmart paying 25% in taxes, which is 12% less than what they are supposed to be paying. And then if we can enforce them to pay 25%, we could have the same tax revenue if we were able to lower mom and pop shops down to 10% flat tax. That way, mom and pop shops, instead of them getting stuck with the 35% in taxes, they could be paying 10% in taxes, say 25% towards, they could put that into some more labor costs, lowering prices on products and things like that. But I think that would really help with the economic war we've been having from these giant corporations assaulting our small businesses. So let's see, even more people are showing up over here. So, people are starting to get here. It looks like the BLM movement supporters, they are a lot more armed this time. We only had, I think, 1 or 2 firearms amongst us, which we really don't need because this is going to be peaceful. But last time we were way outgunned. And I don't know, I guess it just helps people relax. Let's see here. Boone County and Harrison PD will turn a blind eye to us. Last week we did have the sheriff out here, and there were a few officers. I think there were probably 5 officers here, and they just kind of stood back because it wasn't violent or anything. And everyone was being fairly respectful, just chanting. There was a little bit of shouting and arguments, but people kept their distance and it didn't get physical or anything like that. So I actually don't see any police presence here right now. But of course I'm expecting it to, be here soon, just because it's nice when there is a police presence, it's less likely that something crazy is going to happen. And Bethany, we should tax churches, but at the same time, we shouldn't tax all churches because there are a lot of small churches that are, have negative income, negative cash flow, and they donate a lot of their money to community service, to helping people in their community. They do really good things with their money, but a lot of these small churches. Now, when we're talking about mega churches who are making $1 million a week or more, absolutely, they aren't giving back to their communities like they should. If you look at most foundations, a lot of charities, a lot of them give, between 5 to 10% of the money that actually comes in back into the community and what their charitable cause really is. So we should be taxing mega churches, taxing churches whose pastors have 6 Ferraris and live in a 5,000 square foot mansion with 5 planes and things like that. You know, religion shouldn't be used as a way to evade taxes to get rich. It should be used as a way to support your faith and, you know, to have a place of, a house of God to respect and for people. But we just have to be careful that we don't start burdening our small churches that are really doing good things for their communities with really high taxes. Now, we could do things, I'm not sure if it's already done, but we could do things where like we give churches free utilities. That way they don't have to pay for their water and electric bill for their facilities and things like that. That way we could lower some of the burden for them and allow them to put more money into our communities and to help people that need the help. But let's see, they're talking over here.
Volume is elevating, you are not going to convince the person you're talking to, and that is the only reason to be talking across the aisle, is we're hoping to invoke some change, spark some dialogue. If it's running on emotion for you, then we need you to duck out, because that's a liability for everybody here. Shouting matches can turn into shoving matches, can turn into something much worse than a shoving match if we're not careful. So we've got to police our own. We've got to calm one another down. Take responsibility for our own and each other's actions. If you're close to somebody who looks like they're flying off the handle, your intervention is going to be much more effective than mine is going to be. So let's keep ourselves and let's keep each other in check. And last time, you see somebody with this armband, you see Aaron giving you a direction. Follow the direction first, and then we can argue about it. We can get on the same page later. But consider that to be very time critical, and we'll stay safe out here. All right?
Everybody got the message. Everybody knows what we're here to do. We got radio communication. If you guys see something going on, just tell somebody with the ready. Go ahead.
How do you feel about us crossing the intersection like I did last week?
I feel fine. I feel like everything here is public property. I feel like if you see somebody, you want to talk to them and try to spark a conversation.
I won't be talking. I just want to see this. I just wanted to be able to.
I'm perfectly fine as long as we're all here being safe and we're all here being respectful. I feel like we can move around and we can network how we need to network. We can talk to who we need to talk to.
Try to stay within eyesight of the square.
Yeah.
Because the people who are here for your protection, if we can't see you, or if you can't see us, we can't see you. We can't protect you if we lose track of you.
I think we got it, guys.
Any other questions?
All right, so if we have any questions going on throughout the day, just don't hesitate to come and ask one of us. And good luck, everybody. Good luck. Let's have a good day. Let's make some dialogues and let's plant some seeds. Good luck.
All right. So if you heard, every single person was just instructed to have good conversations, and if you start to feel heated, to remove yourself from the conversation. You know, don't shout, don't shove, because those things can escalate. So, you know, the entire group was just given instructions to make sure it remains peaceful and to have civil conversations, because that's why we're here. We're here to bridge the gap and to have conversations. And I think it's very important that we do have these conversations, even though, you know, sometimes it's hard and people get passionate about what they're saying. You know, you just got to keep it calm. And then, of course, they said make sure we're policing ourselves and making sure, you know, if you do see someone getting out of hand, that you know, touch them on the shoulder, move them out of the situation and let them cool down. Okay, here's the sheriff. The sheriff is showing up now. Looks like possibly the same vehicle it had here last week. But so it looks like people brought ice tests, Got several cases of water. Looks like, oh, they've even got some hamburgers and hot dogs that they're going to barbecue in a little bit. Supply some lunch for people. Let's see. There are people over here talking. But as of right now, it doesn't look like anyone is really engaging in conversation at this point. Everyone's just trying to get settled in and figure out where they need to be. All right. But I'm really hoping some people come out to have conversations with us, whether you support the BLM movement or you don't. These are the conversations we want to have. Oh, check out Aaron's shirt. I love it. Can I get the back of your shirt real quick, man? I love that shirt. It's awesome. Dialogue, conversation, and understanding.
That's what we're here to do.
Right? Are you planning on going to the one in East End next weekend?
We're going to Joplin on the 12th. If I could get to East End on the 13th, then I'll definitely go.
That's a lot of driving, but
Yeah, I know, right?
For sure.
We're dropping on the 12th, so I kind of scoped out the East End event, so I really want to go. I just can't I don't want to throw my whole commitment behind it and then not be able to make it. But I'm definitely trying to keep an open mind to be able to make it.
For sure. I know that there's going to be a lot of their community members there that are concerned. And I bet the conversations are going to be a lot more plentiful and they're going to be good conversations.
Yeah, and see, I want to be there for that.
Yeah. Like, I'm actually surprised there's only about 6 people. There's not many people here. It's hard to have a conversation when people don't want to talk. I love your Guy Fawkes mask, by the way. Let's see. I'm not sure what the business is, but last week there was a lot of militia standing in front of it.
That's where a lot of them are inside right now.
Oh, okay.
A ton of them are inside the cage homes, and a lot of them are
Uh-huh.
sitting inside of FIA earlier. We watched them move stuff out to clear out more room.
Huh.
Inside, moving around the back.
Okay.
There's plenty of them inside there.
For sure. I noticed, well, I didn't notice. Someone had told me that there's a barber shop somewhere over here, and it's owned within the family of Tom, I think it's Tom Robb, the head of the KKK.
This is the child, Jason Robb.
Okay, he owns...
This is Freeland Dunstone. So Freeland Dunstone married Tom Robb's granddaughter.
Okay.
And used to, for a long time, he had a podcast on Stormfront Radio with...
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, right now there's not a lot. Damon's super awesome. He's my videographer. He toured with me for 4 days around the state, and we got to meet a lot of awesome people together. And I'm sure a lot of y'all got to meet him. And thank you guys so much for coming out and talking with us. During my 4-day tour. I will be doing another 4-day tour like that, or I may just break it down into 2 2-day tours, a Saturday, Sunday, one weekend, and another Saturday, Sunday, the next weekend in another part of the state. But I'll let y'all know about that. I've just got so much going on now with work and school, and being a stay-at-home teacher and all that other stuff going on. So now that school's back in session, it's taken up a little bit of my time. But I will work on getting something like that scheduled here soon. We should be finding out this week whether or not we will be in the September schedule for oral arguments, or whether we'll be stuck in the October one. And the thing that sucks about if we get put in October is that the oral arguments for October are going to be October 19th up, and early voting, I believe, starts on the 19th, or early voting starts on the 18th, I don't know, but it's all really close. Point being, our oral arguments would be scheduled to start after early voting. Therefore, everything's going to change if we can't get in these September oral arguments. So we should know here soon on whether or not we will. So I wanted to come over here. Okay, so I see someone in the FIA standing. He was just inside the window with what looks like an AR-15. Let's see. So let's see here. I'm just gonna come walk across the street real quick. Let's see if we can kind of see inside and just see how it looks over here. FIA, Progressive, Forsey General Insurance Agency. So I can't really see much in there. Come around this way, and these corners, this is where all of the militia was last weekend. Let's see. Backreet Trader. But I don't really see anybody. So that's a good sign. I think what they said last week over here, these militia guys, were that they aren't going to engage. They have no interest in conversation. They're just going to sit back, and if the shooting starts, they're going to come in and finish it, is how they feel. So they'll probably stay over here on this corner where they were last week, I would assume. But it looks like those 6 people who were over here have left over here on this side. And it is now 1:11, so the protest is about to start. And I mean, I love chanting and letting people know, you know, what's going on in that Black Lives Matter, but I would really like to be able to have some conversations. So I hope some people show up to talk, because we want to know their concerns. We want to know about the issues they're facing in their community, and how they, you know, think people can help them solve these issues from afar. Let's see. Well, there's Aaron. Everyone's just kind of walking around now. Like I said, it is a beautiful day. It's starting to get a little warm. Oh, I'm going to start sweating here soon. Hi, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thank you for coming back out.
Absolutely.
See our friends on the roof?
Oh, yeah, I saw them as soon as on the roof.
Yeah, they look.
Oh, what are they doing on the roof?
They're sitting up there in lawn chairs with their guns.
Really?
Yes.
What's up?
Yeah, that's an actual Clan-owned barbershop. I don't know if you know.
Oh,
that.
that's the barber shop.
That's Freeland Dunstone
Okay.
shop. He's married to Tom's granddaughter.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that's the
So they're
place.
hanging out on the roof with lawn
Yeah,
chairs
they-
and
I mean,
guns.
the
Nice.
community's used to kind of seeing this stuff because this is what they do anytime we have any type of diversity event here.
Uh-huh.
This is normal for us. It
Oh,
is.
man.
Yeah.
I went down that way, and I could see people inside the window with ARs.
Yeah, they were all out in the open earlier, but as soon as it got closer to 1, they just scattered. So they're all around here. Probably.
For sure. And there is a lot of misinformation right now. People were told that Antifa is going to be here, that there's going to be rioting and things like that, but that's not what this Bridge the Gap event is about at all. So those really aren't any legitimate concerns that people should be having. Let's see. Man, it's hard to hold conversations though with people if nobody's here to talk.
Their town plan is they told everybody don't come out here, so we go away.
Nice. Well,
It's also early yet, so.
yeah, that'll give us 5 hours to barbecue, hang out, and if anything, we can at some point come together and talk about how the BLM movement has affected our lives, specifically and things like that, and how we feel about it.
I
And
mean, the movement made my life better. The opposition made me live in fucking hell. So, just to be honest.
well, that's why these events are so important, because we need those the people opposing the BLM movement to come and explain to us why they oppose it. And why they feel that way, and then listen to what the movement is supposed to be. Because a lot of the pushback I get is, well, look at how they're... Would you all mind standing in the shade?
Yeah, let's go.
It's freaking hot. But a lot of people think that when they think of BLM, they think of rioters in the streets, they think of businesses being burned down, the liberal mob and all that stuff that these conservative politicians are using their position to spread. But what it really is, I mean, y'all know, it's the movement for peace, justice, and equality. And as a politician, the reason that I support this movement is because if we can bring enough attention with these nonviolent, peaceful conversation gatherings, then we can start to get our politicians looking at us, listening on legislation that can actually help solve these symptoms of the bigger problem. Like the way we fund education is huge.
I mean, so the backside of that is they already had a national report where they looked at over 7,000 Black Lives Matter demonstrations since the murder of George Floyd. And what they found was 93% of them was peaceful. In almost every instance of the case where it was not a peaceful demonstration, where it was, declared a riot, law enforcement was the catalyst and the trigger for that.
Yes.
It's not saying that all the ones that turned violent were from law enforcement, but they're saying more than half that was the catalyst. So,
yeah, when you come out and you need a movement against brutality with brutality, people are
gonna
react.
Yeah.
When you're cornered, you're gonna react in kind.
Absolutely.
Past that, and everybody stops feeling cornered and starts talking.
But that's just my thing. We're here already. We have some guy who owns a shop right down there telling us how, we're not worried about you, but it could be someone else. And that's just the thing. They keep doing the what ifs, what if this, what if that, to justify their opposition to the movement. That's an endless scenario. That's why you don't start the what ifs with anybody. That's why I'm just like, me personally, I'm just tired of listening because nothing's changing. They're not listening to us.
I think it is starting to change, especially here in Harrison.
Small seeds, and those seeds are being planted every day. Every time we come out here, those seeds are being planted, and that does make a difference. Over time, that's what makes the difference. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, come on, we've been this way for how many hundreds of years? It's not going to happen overnight, but right now we do have a chance to actually make progress, and I think we are.
And I know your community is having like gatherings and things like that where they're talking about racism and social injustices, where they're trying to better their own community here. And that's why they're pushed back against outsiders coming in and trying to bring attention to it.
A lot of it is because there's a fear against speaking out, because speaking out here gets
the mayor to write some shit about you.
yeah, I mean, it actually...
I was hoping he would come out here today and speak with us.
I sent out a video challenging him and our other council members to come out. We had 2 other council members that voted against that resolution against hate. You're a politician, you understand what a resolution is. It doesn't actually do anything. It makes a statement about something. And they were opposed to making a statement against racism. They need to answer us for that. Why were you opposed? What part of saying we stand against racism in Harrison, Arkansas is taking from your rights? Because that's all I heard from them. Oh, well, it infringes on our rights. I want to know, how does that infringe on your rights?
Yeah.
To me. What about saying racism is wrong infringes on your rights? That's 2 city council members. And there's a 3rd city council member that voted yes for the resolution that I was shocked because they're so friendly. She's been on social media talking about running over protesters. I mean, stuff like that. And these are our elected officials publicly speaking. When you're on Facebook and you're an official, it's public speech.
Yeah.
You're accountable for everything that you say.
Yeah, screenshots don't go away.
They're not being accountable. All the mayor did was quick pass the resolution and try to shut everybody up. I haven't gotten a phone call from him to ask for my help with the committee that he's forming, or to get a real apology. He did a politician Facebook apology and always trying to come to us. It's a huge issue.
Well, these are the kinds of things that we need to remember in November when it comes to the time to vote. He was looking in his mirror to make sure that everyone hears him. Oh, or not. He's just waiting for his buddies. All right. But yeah, no, that's when you gotta.
We have to get all of these people involved in the system because everybody, all of the younger ones, are so disillusioned with the system that all they know how to do is rail against it. And you and I both know that that's not how it's going to work. If we don't get people that care about people in positions of power, we're going to keep repeating this cycle over and over and over. We have to stop electing rich old white men to represent us because there's nobody in government that represents me as a single white woman with children. Nobody's talking for me, just like nobody's talking for people of color or poor people at all. We're not represented in our government. You have to have money to get in.
The majority of our legislators are millionaires, and then at the same time, their average rating is like, 14%, but they continue to get reelected time and time again.
Because people don't show up because they're so disillusioned with the system they've given up. And there's not hardly any good candidates out there. I mean, how many people do you meet at the events you're going to? How many politicians do you see out pounding the pavement?
Not many, unfortunately.
No, they're insulated in their little offices and their corporate jobs, they don't care about us.
Yeah, we do not have enough progressive candidates in Arkansas, unfortunately. But, you know, the way that we get more progressive candidates is we get progressive working class people to say enough is enough and to stand up and to run for office. That way we can get those candidates that we're able to vote on, that we actually want to vote on, who are going to help positive changes here in our state. Because
people don't realize it's not really that hard to get involved in your local government, and everything starts at a little local level. Join a committee. You don't have to go out for council right off the bat. Show up at the meetings. Pay attention to what they're passing. Because I promise you, nobody's there. You go to city council meetings here, it's like the same three old white dudes. I mean, they go there for entertainment. Nobody here is paying attention to what the city government is doing. But they are enacting laws that affect us more directly than some of the federal laws that are going on. You know, these laws affect our everyday lives, and nobody's really paying attention to it. And you don't have to be a rich white guy to run for office.
Or even justice of the peace, because they determine where a lot of our local taxes go.
Most of these positions, they run unopposed. They don't have people running against them. These positions stay in the same families and the same bloodlines and the same people year after year and generation after generation because nobody wants to get involved.
And it's been a big problem here in Arkansas for decades, where we have the political positions that are being held by the same families over and over again. And which is why one of the things I want to do with my campaign is I want to be able to create a website that y'all can go to, enter in your zip code, you know, click a button, who represents me, who are my representatives, and you can click on each of their names and see how they voted throughout their entire career while they've been representing you. And if you don't like the way that they've been representing you, that's when you can click another button and it will just straight guide how to run for office. That way we can get you running for office if you don't feel like you're being represented the way that you want to be represented. So awesome. It looks like people were instructed not to really come out today and try to have these conversations with us. So, I mean, I'm guessing we're just going to kind of hang out and barbecue for a while, make our presence known over here on the corner, and, you know, just show support for the Black lives that matter. Yeah. So where we're at with ballot access right now is we were approved for oral arguments, so we will be getting our day of court finally. They're going to assign our panel of judges, and then we're working on getting our court date set for September 21st to September 25th. But right now the schedule is full. So my lawyer is working on getting us switched out with one of those cases because if we don't get in the September arguments, then it would be irreparable harm against our campaign. So we're trying to get in for September, and if we can do that, then we will know between September 21st and September 25th on what's going to happen with ballot access. But it's looking good. I mean, it is, and the Attorney General's office is helping make it look better for us. They're submitting citation papers that build our case even stronger. So I'm still pretty confident we'll get it. I'm just hoping that we get it before the election. That's the biggest hurdle right now, is actually getting it in time. And that's why the Attorney General's office waited until the deadlines to file the papers. Yeah, they're trying everything they can. And you know what? It is not. And I'm going to make sure that it is exposed what's going on, and that everybody will be talking about it. Because if we have our elected officials rigging elections against us, that's not okay at all. And we'll make sure that we let them know that it's not okay by voting them out and not voting them into new positions of power in the future.
Well, I tell you, I like how you handle a lot of criticism of that. Facebook, and you make a point to engage with people.
It gets hard.
No. That's not how this is. Let me explain. That's more patience than what I would do.
I try my best. Sometimes I get a little irritated and I let people bait me, but I still answer at least, and I'll always answer.
It's better than saying nothing, though, so, you know.
I don't know. It depends who you ask, because if you look at politicians like Tom Cotton or pretty much any other political candidate that doesn't engage with their community, they'll still pull higher because of it. They don't get stuck with old screenshots from when they get baited. But that's not the kind of representative I want to be. I want to actually engage with people and listen to their concerns. It may hurt me a little bit with votes, but it is who I am, and I'm not trying to be something I'm not. See, I can't wait until we have more people in our generation that actually wants to talk to their politicians and listen, rather than what we've been seeing for a long time.
In my generation, from what I've seen, if you get on the ballot,
I'm pretty sure we will, and that's why they're so scared and trying so hard to keep us off. But hopefully we'll get on the ballot, we'll beat Tom Cotton, and then we'll have a progressive voice so I can start the way I do my weekly live streams. I'm going to continue that even when I'm in office. I'm going to tell people what's been going on in the Senate through the previous week and what's upcoming for the next week. And I'm going to explain legislation that's being voted on and let you guys know what's being voted on, because we don't know what a lot of stuff is that's being voted on every day. Like because of COVID-19 and the George Floyd protests, most people don't even know that the Patriot Act was extended until 2024. And a lot of people don't know things like that, which is like the most unconstitutional piece of legislation that's ever been written.
well, a lot of people don't even know what it entails.
Yes.
They have no idea.
So I will do my best to try to tell people about things. I'll live stream whenever I can. And I mean, personally, I think that every single meeting that's held that's not classified in the House or the Senate should be live streamed for everybody to watch and see what's going on. I mean, there are public servants working for us voting on legislation that directly affects our lives. So that's something I would like to see happen in our time.
I think whenever it's a lot less competitive, there's a lot less division, there's a lot less opportunity for things to get misconstrued. Information doesn't get diluted as easily. It's harder to misrepresent in the media. It's just better.
Yeah.
Transparency is better. Even whenever it's things that's going to seem, things that are going to be uncomfortable to know, it's going to be better than that.
I agree. I think that information is important, and transparency is something it's been overlooked for too long. But with these awesome devices, the cell phones, live streaming, it makes it a lot easier to help get the word out of what's really going on. It's after last week, I came in here kind of ignorant, not knowing a lot of the backstory of what was going on. So I wanted to make sure to come back and talk to some people. But unfortunately, none of them really came. So come on, y'all. I know you're watching. Come out here and talk with us. We want to chat. I wasn't talking as much last week as I was listening and letting other people talk and letting people hear their conversations. But from the few people that called me afterwards, that messaged me, texted me, and things like that, I think they felt like I wasn't seeing the full picture of everything that's going on here in Harrison, because there are a lot of good people here. There's just a few bad eggs, like every community has. And they don't want their community of Harrison being recognized as a terrible place when a majority of them are trying to fight for racial equality and social justice. So that's why I really wanted to come out today and talk with those people again, so I could get more information on how they feel, why they feel that way. A lot of them have. I mean, and these false narratives, they're dangerous.
It really helps that you're here, because you're not really going to see a lot of people running for a political position out there trying to riot or burn down the stand.
I agree.
People raise a few eyebrows. Wait a minute. I don't think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, wearing a suit helps a lot. It does. Like when I was at the Confederate statue, the removal protest, I was able to actually go back and forth between the two groups when they were separated by like more than 100 feet because of agitation and things like that. So it allowed me to go back and forth and actually talk with both groups. And I was hoping again to do that here today. But we'll see if anyone shows up. I mean, it's still pretty early. It's only 1:30 right now, so I'll be here for another at least 3.5 hours hanging out. I hope so. We would like y'all to come engage with us. Come talk. We want to listen, we want to talk, and we want you to listen. And that's all we're asking. Right? Yeah, there's free food. I think hamburgers, hot dogs, chips. We've got water and, let's see. This is kind of what's going on since y'all have been staring at my ugly mug for a while. Oh, that's the sheriff, not the feds. He was here last week in the unmarked vehicle, the dark blue one. Yeah. He's the sheriff.
So they're just in unlocked.
Yeah.
That mirror right there, this guy, Confederate flag, we keep circling. That's all we keep doing.
Oh, not sure. I wish the mayor would come out and talk with us. That would be really beneficial.
He is too much of a coward. He's like all these other little young punks. It's just like him. They'll sit behind on social media and talk a bunch of game. He'll come out here and do a damn thing.
Well, I definitely hope he does. You hear that, Mr. Jackson? Come out here and talk with us because we really want to talk and it'll be civil. Let's see. Yeah, that can be done in November.
2 more years, you gotta deal with him.
Is he halfway through? He's in his midterm right now? Oh, it's 2 more years. Oh my goodness.
2 more years dealing with little fucking cowards like that.
Let's see. But yeah. Hi.
Nice to see you. I met you in Bella Vista with my husband.
Yes.
Here, yeah.
Oh, hi Sharon. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Oh,
Awesome.
man. It's huh?
You're concealed carry, Dana.
Yeah, I usually conceal it better, but I've got all this COVID weight. It's making my clothes too small.
Right?
Oh man.
That's the biggest
But
problem.
oh man, it is. I've heard it's the COVID-15, but for me it was more like the COVID-20.
Oh, for sure.
Oh.
All the 20 pounds I lost before COVID.
Let's see. Awesome. So there's good support. I'm gonna go ahead and go across the street so y'all can get a good look. Oh, I see a lot of familiar faces from people who were here last week, which is pretty awesome. Let's see. Go ahead and get this going. Whew.
All right, y'all, I say this every time we're down here. One of our biggest risk factors is whatever's coming around this corner, whatever's coming from straight over there. Vehicular attacks are happening throughout the country. We need to be mindful of this corner, whoever's posted out furthest over here.
Let's see here. But yeah, you know, it's pretty quiet over here. I see people as young as maybe 8 or 9 years old, all the way up to, senior citizens, our elder generation. It's just a huge variety of people. White, black, yellow, brown. There's all sorts of people here. It's really beautiful. It's good to see us coming together. Let's go over here.
I lost my seconds.
Awesome. Nice to see you again. Good. Let's see here. All right. But looking around, a lot of people just kind of hanging out. I'm not seeing the sheriff anymore. So wow. This is kind of from the back what the scene looks like. Got a tent over here with some snacks. Over here they're registering people to vote. There's a little bench to sit on over there in the shade. There is nobody else in the square here. And this side's empty as well. There's a gentleman over here. Coming to look at this corner. See one gentleman in the FIA shop in the window. But there is, let's see, it looks like from the barber shop, they actually removed the ladder and their chairs. They're no longer at the barber shop. Let's see. So these two buildings, the one with the Back the Blue sign and the Back the Blue flag, the caged building back there, we were told these buildings are full of armed militia. They're just hanging out, but it looks like, you know, they're not engaging or anything. And then the racists that were here when I first arrived, which happened in the first like 5 minutes of the live stream. As soon as I got out of my vehicle and started my live stream, they approached me and started talking with me. One of them got behind me, so I put myself in a more defensive position, and then he ended up walking around my car and pulling the magnets off my car. But they have left, and it seems like everyone's no one's here, so it's hard to have conversations when nobody's here, unfortunately. You hanging around for a while, or?
I think so. I'm gonna walk over here. I saw some folks. Looks like Patriots or something. They're kind of camping out around this corner. Just gonna go.
I'll walk with you if you don't mind. I mean, or I can leave you to take your photos. It doesn't matter to me.
No, that's fine.
But from what I've heard, the militia's inside this building on the corner, the FIA insurance building, and then also the building that has that chain, those steel bars in front of it. But I guess they were instructed not to come out here today and engage with us.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was the whole point. Was
well,
we were going to talk.
I thought, you know, that was the whole point. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like people want to engage and talk. But throughout the day, I'm really hoping that some people, you know, change their mind, not listen to some of the people spreading disinformation and hatred online, and come out here. And I'd love to hear their views, and, you know, hear why they have their views, and see if I can try to understand where they're coming from a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, they're turning. Man, I love these beautiful little towns, though. Oh, so when I came out here before, I talked to an older gentleman, and he noticed that when we were doing our tour, how a lot of these town squares, they're like, you know, half empty. He told me that when this was like all 100% full and like the head of the, you know, the most poppin' part of town, until Walmart came in, and then a lot of them went out of business. So wow, that's sad to see.
That is, that's sad.
So we're kind of just hanging out right now, looking around. Let's see.
So like,
walk down here and take a look.
yeah, it looks like they got some folks camped out around.
How's work going?
Oh,
enjoying being back in school?
Oh my God, man. It's off.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, see, their parking lot's all full. There's a lot of people here. They're just not out and about. Any plans for tomorrow?
No.
No.
I'm gonna spend a lot of time with my son.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like I've been so busy lately. I haven't got a chance to really spend time with him, so I'm just gonna go let him have his day, and I'll just tag along.
Heck yeah.
Which sounds awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe taking my daughter swimming tomorrow, away from other people, maybe one of the lakes or the river or something.
Do it.
We made it to the Buffalo the weekend before last, which was really cool.
So is that the first time you'd seen it?
It's not the first time I had seen it, but it's the first time I got to go swimming in it.
Oh, yeah.
It was perfect. All the water was the perfect temperature, and it was a lot of fun. And they have so many spots where, the water's only this deep, so I don't have to worry about her getting my swept away or drowned or anything like that.
This is a very real thing on a river.
Yeah.
Mindful of that.
Right.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Well, I'll kind of hang tight and see what happens. I was really hoping to record, like some of these conversations.
Well, we still got time. I hope people will come out and talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're watching this right now, make sure you share this live stream on some different groups. Let people know it's completely peaceful. There's nothing crazy going on. Nobody wants to be violent. Nobody wants to argue. We want to listen and we want to talk. That's all. This could be, just dialogue. This could be a really productive day if given the opportunity. Get my battery pack plugged in.
That was kind of my goal, is encourage folks, to see this and hear it and be like, oh, well, if this can happen in somewhere that's this tense, it can happen anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you heard about the East End one next weekend?
I have, but I don't know. I think I'm booked up next weekend.
For sure.
You still gotta make the diaper money.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'll be there as well. And the way that the community is responding to it online sounds like there's gonna be a lot of concerned people out there. So the conversations should be really good.
Man. Well, maybe I can push some senior portraits or something. But whoa.
He's got a loud voice.
Well, I mean, I heard that and I was like, uh-oh. What's going on?
If anything, I'll be live streaming it, and I know it's not the same as recording, but
no. I'm gonna be following a lot more of these events and try to catch those conversations.
Well, we have a unique opportunity here in Arkansas because our protests, they're known now for not being violent, for never having destroyed property or anything like that. So it gives us hopefully the opportunity for people to want to come out and talk. Because, man, that's what we really need.
Well,
I noticed Shield Wall isn't here today either.
There were some folks that were here and they packed up.
Yeah.
And I saw one of them actually handing out.
Oh, yeah, he had the Klan pamphlets.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talked to me. Yeah, watch the first 5 minutes of my live stream for that. Man, he literally, he honestly believes that a dark-skinned person is a different species than a light-skinned person. Wow. I couldn't believe the conversation. But he stood there and he talked. He told me his beliefs, whether or not I agree with them. He did listen to me, and then he decided to leave. Oh man, I don't know. Oh. Here, I guess I can read some of these comments because there's all sorts of comments in here. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to go over this way real quick. All right. are fighting, well shared. Just played no games. Oh, they're all out on their boats at the bottom of the lake. Little kids. Walmart came in 50 years ago. Yeah, Jan, I think he said it was like in the 60s or something like that, or 67 when the flood hit, I think he had said. People are at lunch after church, then headed to the boat rallies. Yeah, they probably are headed out to the boat rallies. Yes, the people I want to talk to are on here. Let's see. Good hearts. I don't think Quinn is here. I don't know. I've never met Quinn before. But when I came here last week, I came in here ignorant, like I shouldn't have. I should have made sure I had the whole picture of how the community has been addressing these issues. And, you know, the story from both sides, not just one. So I was really hoping to have some people here to talk to about listening to their sides now that I have more of what the picture is, even though I still have way more to learn.
You told me about it. I've never worked with it.
Making some burgers. Awesome. Are you fundraising for your campaign? How can we help get you on the ballot? So I'm actually, of course, we're still taking donations, but I'm not actively fundraising because we are still in limbo with our legal battle, and we're gonna have to, if we don't get ballot access, we're gonna have to do something with the donations, which is why I'll have a private meeting with my donors for them to decide what to do with them. But at this point, I'm not actively asking. Kita, I have had some people call and talk to me this last week and was able to get some conversations going that way. And I mean, I'm here and I'm willing to listen. Let's see. He is, I spoke with him. Let's see. I'm not sure. How are you doing this afternoon, sir? I'm young and I feel like I got his shit. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, it seems like everybody's probably going to be out on their boats today and unwilling to engage in conversation. Thank you, Vivian. Honestly, right now, it is kind of up to the courts. Got ABC News here. It's up to the courts right now. We've been approved for our day in court. We've been approved for oral arguments, and now we are working on getting scheduled for the September oral arguments, getting switched in for a case that is already scheduled. And let's see. And yeah, there's really not a whole lot we can do. All we can do is bring attention to it, media attention, reach out to your local media, reach out to newspapers, TV stations, see if they know what's going on with our fight for ballot access, see if they know how the Attorney General is trying to keep us off the ballot by using her position after she took money from my opponent to delay the court process as much as possible through opposing our expedites, claiming that our case is not important. and things like that, and getting those expedites, the opposition to our expedites approved after the United States Attorney General William Barr came here and spoke with her and my opponent together. So, talk about things like that and, get them to reach out. When in doubt, my Capitol View interview, they gave me enough time to actually talk about what's going on and explain pretty much everything. So feel free to share the Capitol View interview too. You can see who is attacking on this thread, so you can see what is really going on and why we don't want to have any dialogue with these people. Let's see here. All right, I might do that. But, everybody's in high spirits over here. It's fairly quiet. It's peaceful. People are walking around. There isn't really anybody else here. But at least underneath this big tree, got some shade finally, and a nice breeze coming in. Let's see. But come on, y'all. I mean, I know some of y'all are here. Come out and engage with us. Have some conversations. If you feel better meeting on the other side of the square with just me to talk, let me know, and I'll go over there by myself and I'll talk with you. See. So how are y'all doing? Are you from here in Arkansas?
No. My partner here is.
Oh, okay.
I'm from New York.
New York, and you came down to Arkansas just for this protest here?
Yeah.
Oh, man. And you're with ABC?
Yeah, my name's Matt.
Okay.
Who are you?
Oh, my name's Dan Whitfield. I'm the independent running against Tom Cotton for U.S. Senate. It's a lot of stuff going on in our state right now. So. But unfortunately, we were out here to open up dialogue and have conversations, and it seems like online people were told not to come and have conversations with us.
Well, that's why I came. I was talking to Aaron Clark.
Uh-huh.
And he told me about this, and the idea was to invite people to come and talk about racial differences and perhaps find some understanding and some common ground. But so far, it doesn't look like anybody's taking up on the invitation.
Unfortunately. Well, I know around this corner over here, there are two businesses that are full of armed militia hanging out inside the businesses. I don't think they'll engage. They were here last week as well, and when we talked to them, they said, they're not planning on engaging, but if the firing opens up, they'll come out here and finish it. So that's why they're over there. But hey, if you ever want to talk about a little bit of Arkansas politics and some corruption going on, we have a really interesting U.S. Senate race going on where we have no Democrat in our race.
Yeah.
The GOP actually blackmailed him out of the race 1 hour after the filing deadline.
Wow.
So he was fraudulently filing his FEC paperwork, and the GOP found out about it in May of 2019, and they held on to that information until after the filing deadline, put out a press release stating that they were launching an investigation. An hour after that, he dropped out and then sent lawyers to his campaign staffers for non-disclosure agreements, and now there's no Democrat in the race, which almost never happens. Yeah. And when you look at someone like Tom Cotton, who's so infamous with his things like the New York Times op-ed and his no quarter orders and things like that.
I think you'd have somebody who would want to run.
You would think so. So it's been very interesting so far. But if you ever have questions about it and want to learn more about kind of the backstory of what's going on, you can reach out and give me a call anytime.
Thanks very much.
No problem.
Good luck with the race.
Thank you, Matt. All right. Let's come back over here. But all right, everyone's just kind of hanging out. If anything, we're just going to turn this into a Labor Day barbecue. If no one else shows up to have any conversations in an hour or so, we will, I'll see if I can get everyone to come together and then talk about how this movement has affected and changed their lives and what brought them to the movement. And we can at least have some productive conversations that way.
We've got some cold ones over here.
Oh, really? Oh, awesome.
I'll get you one out of the bottom.
Thank you. Yeah. I did not bring any cold ones. Oh, thank you very much.
We gotta keep you hydrated for real.
Yeah, it's a little warm out here, but
We're counting on you, man.
oh man, it's been quite an interesting campaign. But man, I've been able to meet so many wonderful people throughout this whole thing, and
Well, I honestly, I heard about you back at the last meeting we had with County Democrats with February. I think it was like the last Tuesday. We always have the second Tuesdays of the month. And we had one in February. The first one of the year. The last one we've had of the year.
And we were talking about your petition.
oh, okay.
And to be honest, I was so overwhelmed by the meeting because we had like 40 people attend. People had driven from Newton County and Marion County because there's no Democrat.
The surrounding areas. So.
But we had people from Woodland and Jasper and just really.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Holy crap. Because I worked like several different. Last year and in 16, I worked for Group Dr. Fair.
Oh.
And it's hard. It's real hard, but it's also, it makes me feel good because a lot of times they're single safe. You know?
I get that a lot.
And a lot of times it's the wife behind the husband. You know, that kind of thing. And, we would always give out water, and people would like say something about drinking a Kool-Aid. I'm like, you know, we have some fresh water here. If you'd like a bottle of water.
Right? You guys aren't doing Zoom meetings or anything like that? I know a lot of the county meetings are, or the county parties.
We are not doing Zoom meetings. I've been trying to talk. We had our, what was Ken's title? Basically the president of our, he stepped down. So we've had a shift in leadership, and we are wanting to have some debate parties watch us.
Ah, right.
And I personally would like to find somebody that we know that has a building that we could actually project it on a wall and have a little social distance in some parking lot.
That would be so cool. Oh man.
But if I could, like, if I was still on like good terms with Jeff Crockett, I would talk to Jeff about letting us use the side of Crockett Tower over there and let us do it out there in his parking lot. But he's not my friend anymore. But that's just Harrison. You know,
We don't represent his kind.
Well, you can always do like an online Facebook group chat meeting or a watch party and watch it together and talk about it too. Man, we'd be in trouble without social media right now. Getting people organized in the age and time of COVID is really tough because a lot of people who believe science, who are actually taking it seriously.
She went somewhere.
We started about all the boys that I've seen on Facebook that are anti-science that I sent science class with in high school.
Oh man.
Don't get me started on it. They go to church every Sunday and there's nothing wrong with going to church every Sunday. But then they're going to talk to me and tell me I'm a sheep because I wear a mask. It's my patriotic.
Honestly, I mean, I think wearing a mask is so important because that's just part of the social contract. That's part of what we are as Americans. You know, it's our duty to take care of the people around us and ourselves. And wearing a mask does that directly. And then, you know, of course, I'll see people with like the fishnet masks, like, oh, look, it's a breathable mask, just wearing it. And then we have this mask mandate, but it seems very few people actually follow it. I mean, there's no enforcement at all.
Law enforcement agencies have come out saying they would not enforce it.
Yeah. And that's why we are the 11th highest COVID hotspot in the country right now.
I have a spreadsheet that I've been running since end of June. I do this corner up here. I'm from Southeast Missouri originally, so I did Green, Craighead, Mississippi, in Poinsett, and then I'd be like Duncan Scott, Tiny, Christian, Greenstone.
Oh.
So I have like, you know, my little, you know, I like have my own little percentage positivity rate going, you know, for the county, for the state. And probably my little.
So is it worse than what our officials make it out to be, in your opinion?
Oh, yes, no question. Here in Harrison, I mean, like this past week, how many nursing home residents and one nursing home here in town had 23 staff members test positive in the past, you know, since like the 24th we had, was it 24 plus staff members and...
Oh my gosh.
We had 40 positive cases last Sunday, but since it was stuffed on Sunday, nobody's really talking about it. But it's the two nursing homes that are above Pizza Hut here in town. I know a person that's a staff member that tested positive this past week.
Dang.
And she loves her job. She loves those people. You know, that's her. She's planning on like actually at a wedding dance. And she and her fiance are quarantined to different rooms from each other.
Oh my gosh.
So getting married this weekend.
Wow, it's
She's like a young girl. She is 2 years out of college, going to school, doing the bridge to RN, wants to be a nurse practitioner. She did her CNA when she was in high school. And, you know, it's heartbreaking.
It really is. And I'm really hoping that throughout this Labor Day weekend, people are trying to social distance. Fortunately, a lot of the people that don't believe in science and wearing masks are out on their boats away from other people right now, which is good. And they're not crowding up in public pools and things like that.
They had a big one up in Branson yesterday.
Oh man.
I just would have driven them. I'd have stayed back.
Yeah, I wish I had a boat and could be out on the water, but not at that stage in my life yet. I've still got too many bills to pay.
I understand. I choose to drive a Prius instead of a boat right now.
Yeah, I got the RAV4. It's pretty good on gas mileage. I wish I could have afforded like the $45,000 price that get like 60 miles to the gallon, but
I don't. This is my. I got a 17 now. The last one was a 10, and I only average like 40.
Only 40. Oh my gosh.
And in my 17, I can get 75.
Are you on Facebook?
Like, if I'm doing 55, 60 miles an hour, no hills, straight flat land. I get 75 miles to the gallon. I can get over 600 miles on my tank.
Oh my gosh. That is pretty awesome. Well,
it's nice talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Oh, it's my honor. I don't know if I should keep y'all on this live stream or not, because there's really not a whole lot going on here. We're all just hanging out, you know, talking amongst ourselves. Come eat lunch. Come eat lunch. Talk with us. Open up a dialogue. Have a conversation. Free burgers, hot dogs. We don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, or an alien, Libertarian, Green Party, whatever you are. We want to talk with you, and we want to listen to you.
I still can't find my Nesty Woman pin. I dug and dug and dug. I found a Nader LaDuke pin from 2000. I found a Donnie Wahlberg pin from New Kids on the Block from like 1988. I found a Prince Purple Rain pin that I had in like 7th grade.
Oh,
I
man.
got those on eBay. Oh, no way. That's my retirement. Are you kidding me?
Let's see. But
I'm to the point right now, like I'm, being unemployed and everything, I'm so broke that I'm to the point of like almost to the point of selling vinyl. Because anytime I buy records, I buy like 2 and 3 copies.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
So I'm almost to the point of like selling Pearl Jam vinyl right now.
Oh, Pearl Jam. Let's see. Well, thank you for the cold water. I'm gonna go walk across the street so I can get a good view of everything that's going on over here.
If you know anybody else that needs water, send them our way.
Thank you. right.
I almost want to get a hamburger bun.
All right. All right. So here's a little bit of a bigger picture. Oh, and just so you know, there is a police drone above. So the police, we don't see them, their presence, but they definitely are here. Let's see. Let's see, Michelle, they came out to pass out papers. There were 6 people over here when I first got here, and they had papers, and then the other people that they were with were on top of the roof with guns. And then once the people who were over here passing out papers left, they went to the people parked over at the barber shop, on top of the barber shop, and then they all left together. So let's come over here, take a look. And welcome back over to this side. Let's go take a look at this barber shop. Owned by a wife, sisters, brothers, nieces, husband, son, or whatever it is. But there is a relation to the clan, and apparently they're proud to be part of it. So let's take a look. Get a closer look over here. It's beautiful. Wow, look at these flowers. All right. So, looks like over here it's Freeland's Barber Shop. Keep calm and carry on. And then that's where the group is over this way. Am I going to mop the floor with Tom Cotton's sorry self? Absolutely. As long as we can get our corrupt officials that took money from Tom Cotton to give me the ballot access that we honestly, I will say we deserve it. We got 60% of our signatures after losing 60% of our collection time due to orders of the state from Governor Asa Hutchinson, who declared a state of emergency, who also took money from Tom Cotton. And then on top of that, with the 14th Amendment and the Equal Protection Clause, there's no reason for a U.S. presidential independent candidate to only need 1,000 signatures, but then a independent U.S. Senate candidate to need 10,000 signatures. That is unconstitutional. So as long as we can get our case heard in time. The Attorney General has been pushing it out as far as possible. But if we can get it heard in time, then we will have ballot access and we will mop the floor with Senator Tom Cotton. So I'm back onto this corner here. There's some people, it looks like a truck with full masks on. I'm not 100% sure what they're doing, but I see some police officers down that way. But they're chilling in their truck with full masks and a Domino's pizza box. Let's see here. That was so cool listening to that kid on the skateboard talk about Tony Hawk being the first one to do a 900. Man, I remember when I was his age, I was playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. And now they're about to come out with a remake of that good old game. Well, Joe, please come on out and, feel free to have a conversation with me. Oh, this dude's back. Let's see. This guy right here has a shirt on, and on the back of his shirt, he has a picture of a person with a circle and a line through it, and it says, "Go home when the sun goes down." So this guy is a sundown town kind of guy. It looks like he's got a hatchet on his waist and a chain around his neck. But that's about, I'm really trying not to just call people Klansmen or racists because I don't know who people are and how they feel. But this man right here is a racist. He literally has a picture of a black person with an X through it that says, "Go home when the sun goes down." So, yeah. Now, again, that's not a majority of, Harrison. Harrison has a lot of really good people in their community. These racists, open racists. Look at that, wearing a shirt. I took a picture of it. I posted, I think, earlier before I started my live stream. But that is a reality that people do face here in Harrison every day. And even though it's not the majority, it is a loud minority. It is interesting to point out. Yes, sir. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, it smells so good like burgers over here. This has turned into a barbecue. I don't want to make him feel uncomfortable if I just walk up to him and start, filming his back. He obviously doesn't feel comfortable because when I was talking with him earlier when I first got here, he didn't have any weapons and he left and put a weapon on and came back. So he must not feel comfortable. Let's see here. Oh. So, what's your opinion on the shirt that guy's wearing?
It's
police guy?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. What's going on?
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Uh-uh.
Oh, it's just a picture of a black person with a cross going through it, and it says, "Don't be in our town after sundown" or something.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's,
Oh, you hadn't seen that one?
No, not yet, but no surprises.
Yeah, but there aren't many people, unfortunately. I was really hoping to get some good dialogues going on.
Yeah, well, I expect them to change up. This is the last day of their conference. Don't know when it's over.
So they have a conference going on right now?
Yeah, Friday through today is the annual conference, national conference of the Knights Party.
And do you know where it's at? Is it in Zinc or?
Yeah,
it's in Zinc?
Well, technically their compound is right outside Zinc. Yeah, this year their main speaker was Michael Hill, who's the founder and director of the League of the South. Don't know if he's still in town, but he's a big deal. He's a way bigger deal than Tom Robb, honestly.
Okay. Man. But yeah, I guess here is the picture. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep this live stream going or if I want to just end the live stream and then maybe start the live stream back up if some people do decide to come out and talk and open up a dialogue. But I don't want to waste too much of y'all's day. I've got a whole bunch of you guys watching right now, and you know the whole point of this event was to open up the dialogue and bridge the gap. But again, it's just hard to do that when nobody's here. They were instructed online not to come and not to talk with us. Let's see here. Man. Can't have branches on a war memorial. Yeah, by the way, if you missed it in my last live stream, this is one of the coolest memorials I've ever seen. This is in memory of the Spanish-American war veterans, and the entire memorial is covered in crystal quartz. It's got some lichen on the back of it, some moss. Absolutely gorgeous though. Yeah, Mr. Ed, I thought about sitting for a little while and having a burger. But let's see. I'm just kind of looking around. I don't really see anybody coming right now. The only person who's here is, all right, I'll see. I'll ask him if it's all right if I get a shot of the back of his shirt. I'm not sure. May I get a photo of the back of your shirt? Do you mind? Yeah, well, I know, but I just want to ask your permission first, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
For sure.
And that's BLM. That doesn't mean black people. There's black people in this town that don't like BLM either. So.
And is it the movement that they don't like, or the organization?
It's burning our cities is what we don't like. I don't like it. So.
For sure, but
I'll stand alone right here if I have to. I mean, I'll stand alone. If nobody else wants to support our town, then you know these people want to come down here and say Black Lives Matter. I only see one black person down here. Where's all the black people? There's none of the other black people in this town are here. Why is that?
Probably the public scrutiny, I would guess.
No, they don't give a shit about none of this. That's why.
But can we agree that at least here in Arkansas, because Arkansas is full of good people, we have not had any of the BLM protests turn violent or burn any property or anything like that, though.
That's bullshit. That's a bullshit statement. Because you can look at the news every night, they're burning cities. So how do you say
But
that?
not here in Arkansas. Arkansans.
Oh no.
I mean,
it's, because it's a Republican state, and it's going to stay that way.
it wasn't a Republican state before 2010, though, right?
So
Republican state now.
Do you know how it became a Republican state?
Huh?
Do you know how it became a Republican state?
Because they got sick and tired of that Democratic bullshit. That's why.
The Koch brothers also put over $10 million into the political
People got
system
money, I
here.
don't got money. All I can do is stand here on the street corner and say, here I am, I'll stand alone. I will stand alone. I have to. None right here.
Well, I appreciate you coming out and expressing your First Amendment rights, though. I mean, I'm just here to open up conversations and to listen to...
I'm not mad. I love black people. I love our nation. I love that American flag. I hope they don't burn it over there.
Oh, no, it's not going to happen. For sure. Well, thank you for taking the time to show me your shirt and have a conversation. I appreciate it.
And black lives do matter. Black lives matter. But white lives matter. And when did black lives stop mattering? That's what I want to know. When did they stop mattering? See that now? That's all political bullshit that got started over because it's an election year, and so it's crazy. Racism was at a null and voided here. I never seen anybody. The Klan, they don't do nothing. They don't do anything. They're preachers. They observe the word of God. Tom Robb stood right here in this crowd holding a sign that said God hates racism. The first protest, and they wanted to come in here and kill the Robb family. This is all over the internet. You see, all this streaming stuff saying they want to come here and right here in the Klan's backyard, burn this town down, kill the Robb family. That's what I'm reading on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So if this is BLM, then fuck off. I don't believe that way.
May I ask where you're reading that from? I'm really curious.
On Facebook. And all these people are posting this on Facebook. These black people, or whatever, BLM, whoever's got this saying, come to this town to raise hell, cause chaos.
But so, do you feel like your community has been coming together to try to fight racism and things like that? At least as far as...
Food's ready if you're hungry.
Oh, for sure. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm bringing an axe to a gunfight. If people can bring gun blowers, flame blowers and shit, I'm just here. I'm an axe thrower, pretty deadly at about 40 feet. But,
it's fast, too. You're good. But,
obviously,
man,
I'm not a white supremacist. This is my girlfriend over here.
Hi.
So, she's brown, and I like, I love everybody. Just don't come over here knocking windows out, burning shit down. It's not, but that's what we don't want.
Absolutely. I really don't want that either.
Yeah, I really don't.
So have you seen the community starting to come together to fight these racial tensions and things like that?
There was no racial tension here. The black people were welcome here, the ones that live here. And they don't stir up any shit. This is stirring the pot, as I'd say.
It is stirring the pot, and it can... I can see, make it uncomfortable. I'm just really hoping that we can get some conversations.
My conversation is I love everybody. There's no reason to be a racist. There's no reason to be a white supremacist. All that bullshit is not what I stand for. This movement that's burning cities down, that's what I'm against. That's what I am against. I'm against all that. And if you guys are for that, then you're not with me.
I don't think anyone here is really for something like that, because we haven't seen anywhere, like I said, in Arkansas, where things like that are happening. I'm using this as an opportunity to focus on policy that's going to help, because these are all just symptoms
why
of the
this
problem.
guy bring an AR-15 to our square? What is he doing?
Last week there were a lot of firearms here.
There was what?
A lot of firearms last week.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's your. I like that. It's a Second Amendment right. And if they want to defund the police, then it looks like when that's done, I'd say we'll probably be everybody will be carrying arms. Everybody will be armed and dangerous.
Yeah, I don't think defunding the police is the right idea. I think law enforcement reform is the right idea.
Defunding the police is what the BLM's standing for right now. That's what they want to defund the police.
It was a terrible term for the name of it.
They want to take over Seattle. They said that didn't last. So who's really? You want to burn American flags? Not here. Don't do it. Don't. This is a peaceful town. We want to stay at peace. We want to love it. Everybody love our people, the citizens of this town. How many of these people are citizens of this town?
I'm unsure.
Very few. Very few. So why come to this town
One of the
your message is already out there. It's already out there on TV. It's everywhere, you know. So, and they're still burning cities. Why are the cities still burning after 100 days of?
I think one of the
George Floyd. That's not about George Floyd.
That was just the needle on the camel's back.
Yeah, that's an excuse. That's a reason to.
Because it's been going on for a long time
Smashing windows
too.
and stealing shit and rioting. You know, that's all part of it, huh?
Well, a lot of the rioting also starts by agitators, like at the Bentonville protests that they had. People were there protesting for 3 hours peacefully, taking knees, sitting down, chanting, singing. And then the police came in, and then some other people, not militia, I don't want to say they were militia or patriots, they were, I have no idea who they were, but white supremacist is the term I've heard used. But they positioned themselves between the protesters.
Hey, why am I standing alone here on this? Why am I standing alone? Where are the people who don't like these motherfuckers?
I ain't got a problem with them. I just went up there to ask them what they were.
But so they had the protesters and then the law enforcement with a group in the middle. And then, I mean, because there was only like 50 people there, the protesters, it was kind of a close-knit community up there. It's a small town like Harrison is. And once it got dark and the law enforcement showed up, someone all in black in a backpack showed up and threw a water bottle at the police officers and then left. Like, it was someone not even related with the protest, just an outside agitator who came in.
Why do they hate the police so much? I mean, why are the police such a problem? Whenever,
well, no, but after that happened and that person came in.
When you've got a home invasion happening, who are you going to call if it ain't the cops? I can call my brothers if the cops ain't around.
I would definitely call 911 if my home was being invaded.
If there's no police, what's 911 going to do? Who's going to come to the call if you don't have a police department?
I completely agree.
Oh yeah. If I have a criminal past, I support them. I did wrong. I paid my dues.
I think there's just some reform that could be done. We don't need to defund them or abolish them, but definitely having higher educational requirements so they actually know the law that they're supposed to be enforcing. Making it so that we have like a police registry system so that if an officer gets discharged from his precinct for behavior or misconduct, he can't just go to another precinct and start working there.
I see you're a candidate for U.S. Senate. That's a respectable position. So how do you plan to challenge Tom Cotton on issues that even moral issues or what we stand for as a country, right? Where do you stand on this? Do you support all of this violent bullshit?
It's really hard because I don't personally condone violence or rioting. I think rioting is the symptom of a bigger problem. And I think if we start to address the problems, then the riots will naturally dissolve and it won't be an issue anymore. Because rioting, a riot is just the voices of the unheard is what it comes down to. And I think by doing a few things like law enforcement reform, making sure all law enforcement officers have body cams so that they can be held accountable, using minimum force necessary rather than showing up to a scene, assessing and going straight to deadly force, things like that. Just regular reform. I'm not saying to fund them. Maybe we could remove some of the funding that they get for like tanks. There shouldn't be officers with grenade launchers. I think when an officer uses less lethal rounds, they should be used as intended. A less lethal round is supposed to be used from the waist down.
If you're reaching for a knife and the cop shoots you, you deserve to get shot. If you're reaching for a knife and you intend to pull that out and use it against an officer, then I believe you need to be shot right on then and there, and deadly force should be used if an officer is being attacked.
And if an officer is being attacked with a deadly weapon, I understand that. But then it comes into the problem of what if they weren't reaching for a knife, but they were reaching for something else? What if they were reaching for their phone or their wallet?
You're out here in an open air space and you're wearing a mask, so.
My wife. My wife makes me. She has asthma. I have a young girl at home, and I talk to a lot of people, so it's just something I do to protect my family.
It's pretty fresh air coming at me right here.
I know, and the wind's blowing away from us as well. Fortunately, I have a decent mask where it doesn't come down. I don't have to touch it a lot, and it doesn't mess up my breathing or anything like that. So I don't mind.
If businesses are requiring it, they won't get my business. So I wear a mask. have that right. I believe I have a right. I have a right not to take a back seat. I have a right to stand here on this corner, smoke my cigar, and protest the protesters, because that's what I'm here to do. Is because of that, if the movement stands for violence and rioting and ripping people off and smashing and burning businesses, and these are mom and pop people that I've known in this town here for 35 years, and I don't want to see none of them come to harm. You know, look, these businesses here. I love every one of them. Don't want to see any smashed glass.
Can you see with the group that's here though? Does it look like any of that will happen here though? I mean, it seems pretty peaceful.
I don't think it's going to happen anywhere, but cities are burning right now, so we just don't want this one to be burned. You know.
I agree. I don't want to see Harrison burnt either.
Yeah, it's a beautiful town. I love it. I love it here. That's why I'm here as one of the townspeople. It looks like I'm standing alone right now, but there was a small crowd here earlier. I don't know what happened to them, but
yeah, they came and left. I don't know. I'm just here to engage in conversations and open up a dialogue. I think it's important to have these conversations.
I think it's important too.
But
I think a conversation is very important. Both sides of it. If they stop smashing and burning shit, I would understand more of their cause.
But we have to agree that at least here in Arkansas, that hasn't happened though, right? I mean, we have great people here in Arkansas, and it's amazing to be able to...
It's on the West Coast, it's on the East Coast, here we are in the middle. So when is it going to happen? I hope it don't happen.
I hope it doesn't happen.
You know, and Antifa comes into town and start busting people in here and start burning shit. And that, you know.
I saw the posts online saying Antifa's going to be here, but they're not going to be here. I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't hear. I'm sorry. I think that is a lame excuse to use. I mean, I think a lack of justice would be their best excuse for what they do. But again, that group is a lot different than these group of people here. You know, we just...
I'm white. Why does that make me privileged? There's a lot more. There's a lot of black people that are a lot more wealthy than I.
I think it's not about necessarily white being privileged. It's about black Americans being underprivileged, which we do see it a lot in. Like the biggest one is a lack of educational funding, because our lower income neighborhoods, and this affects white and black people alike. Our lower income communities, 90% of the funding from our schools comes from property taxes. So when you live in a low income community with low property taxes, a lot of children don't get the equal opportunity in education.
What I'm seeing on TV is I see this as a threat. You see, because when you're burning and smashing cities, that's threatening my you're treading on my soil.
Yeah.
They are continuous.
And I hate to iterate myself so many times, but I think it is super important to understand that here in Arkansas, we are all good people. For the most part, everybody in Arkansas is a good person. And, I don't think that any of the protests are going to get violent out here. That's why I've been trying to go to as many as possible, because I want to make sure that I'm using these opportunities to open up dialogues to prevent things like that from happening. Because I think when we start having elected officials even come in and inject themselves into these situations, that we are able to prevent violence from happening and get people to talk and have conversations.
With that said, I just require this much space right here.
Yeah.
This much space right here.
Oh, for sure.
We're going to get back up there sometime soon. Topography is changing on us.
Okay, for sure.
Anything closer to this is a threat to me, so...
Oh, no problem. I'm sorry. But, yeah, what was your name, sir? Oh, if you want. My name's Dan. Dan,
I'm Brian.
I appreciate you talking with me, Brian. And then if you ever have any questions, I'm not hard to find.
I'm not a hater. I'm not a Klans member. I don't support all that hate.
So you're not a Klans member, though?
I'm not a Klan. No, I am not Ku Klux Klan.
For sure.
I'm standing here on a corner, man, in my city, This is my town. Is it their town? I don't know, There might be a couple of locals here, but I don't see any.
Were the gentlemen who were here earlier, wearing the shirts with the emblems on the front, were they Klansmen?
There was probably one or two here, you know.
Okay.
You know, but
I had a conversation with him earlier. I was just curious because it's really hard. I don't want to call someone a Klansman who's not a Klansman.
I believe what I believe, and that's not that message isn't hate. It's not hate.
For sure. Well, thank you. I appreciate you talking with me.
Thank you, Dan.
See you later. All right. Let's see. Lots of comments.
Still alive?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here to talk.
How did that conversation go for you?
I mean, I listened to his concerns and his opinions. I mean, it's really hard with him because he says he's not here to hate, but then he has.
Yeah, he went on that tirade after walked away. I was just like, bye.
You know, the sundown town drawn on the back of his shirt. So it's hard. I don't know.
Oh, he has on the back?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I thought it said don't go that way.
No, it's a picture of a black person with a circle and a line through it, and it says, "Don't be here when the sun goes down."
Oh.
Let's see. All right. Well, everybody's kind of hanging out now, snacking, eating a lunch, chatting. Wow, there's a lot of people here coming out today. This is pretty awesome. Oh, so there's some little ones. Now we've got people here from as young as 1-year-old up to probably 70 or older. So there are a whole bunch of different people here from every age group to every ethnicity, you know, different income levels. There's just a wide variety of support here, which is really amazing to see. This is pretty cool. Oh man. But it looks like there's only one gentleman and his girlfriend who are here in opposition. And we just spoke with them, so y'all kind of were able to hear where he's coming from. You know, again, it's misinformation and a lack of understanding, because it seems like his biggest problems are that he's here to protest because he doesn't want BLM to burn the city down. But that's not what this movement is about. It's not about burning cities down. That's not what this event is about. And specifically, this event is about bridging the gap and opening up a conversation and having the conversations like him and I just had, where I can listen to what his concerns are and then try to explain that, you know, these aren't concerns that you should be having, because, you know, look at these people. These people aren't here to burn down a city. These people are here to show support for a movement and to bring awareness to a lack of justice, equality, and peace. So, a lot of really good groups. Let's see here. Go listen to them talk a little bit over here.
How you doing, Mr. Dan?
Well, how are you doing?
See you today,
Elbows. Oh, hello, y'all. Thank you guys for coming out here today.
Everybody here will have just a simple conversation with you. I guarantee.
There's a reason they're trying to stay around the
No, sir, I'm not. I'm not a Trump or a Biden fan. I don't believe in the two-party system that we have. Absolutely.
She said, as long as we have people in positions of power like Donald Trump, it's going to be hard for, for us to defeat racism and have conversations like these. That it's our elected leaders who need to step up first and lead by example.
Was in 1968, the first time Nixon had president. He got 46 of 288 votes. He didn't even want to win. He just wanted to deny them.
Let's see. But, this is Harrison, Arkansas, a BLM Bridge the Gap event where people are here to, open conversations or open a dialogue, have conversations, and listen to people's concerns, frustrations, and try to bridge the gap. So there are a lot of people that are here to talk. Unfortunately, a lot of the people who oppose the movement didn't come out today, so there aren't as many conversations going on as I wish I could, facilitate. But yeah, like I said, if you can make it out here to Harrison, to the Boone County Courthouse, feel free to come on out, have a conversation, engage, and you can eat some burgers, or have a hot dog, or have something like that. For sure, I might have to grab one. Oh man.
You gotta get a plate.
Can I grab a plate?
We got hot dogs right here. Right? Yes, hot dogs and hamburgers. We got veggie burgers if you want any of that.
Oh man. I guess I'll go with the hamburger. Just take one off the top. Awesome.
Yep, all in there, silver ones in there.
All right.
There's already somewhere in the box for you. Chips
Oh,
over here.
nice.
We got drinks in the fridge too.
Cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh man. Here, y'all. So, she just took her gloves off. She had gloves on and she was organizing all the boxes so that people just have to grab a box and don't have to worry about touching them. They put silverware in the boxes for us, which is super awesome. And since she was the only one handling it with gloves and a mask on, I feel confident and safe in eating this delicious meal. So let me go ahead and show y'all this group real quick. Oh, there's a little Trump boat. But so it's a pretty awesome event. I'm gonna go away from people so that I can sit down, eat my food, and take my mask off and talk with y'all. And while I'm eating, what I'll do is I'll try to read through some of these comments, and if y'all have any questions about what's going on over here, I'll do my best to answer any questions y'all have. All right. I have no idea how I'm going to do this, by the way. Let's see. Oh. Well, let's come up this way. So are they bridging the gap between Blake's teeth? I have no idea who Blake is. Oh, let's see here. Oh, awesome. So, Bridge the Gap NWA is not Harrison, BLM. Please correct that immediately. The event today is also nowhere near a protest. It's a dialogue, so please change that. Okay, Jessica, I'm sorry about that. For sure. So, like she said, Bridge the Gap NWA is not Harrison BLM. I mean, this is just a group, a movement. I heard Aaron saying earlier that we're here to bridge the gap. And then, yeah, today is nowhere near a protest. It's a dialogue, you know, people are out here talking. It's completely peaceful, and, you know, people, they just want to hear other people's concerns, and they want to express their own concerns and create that hard dialogue that's so important. All right. Let's see. All right, I am going to see if I can get y'all a view of what's going on over here. And it's not gonna let me turn my phone sideways, of course. That's not gonna work. All right, I'm going to leave you all here for a second to talk amongst yourselves. But I'm looking around and I don't really see any militia anywhere. The square is mostly empty. Wow, she was not lying. These baked beans are on point. All right. I ate as fast as I could. Awesome. I only lost 20 viewers. But man, the burger on point, the baked beans on point. Thank you to whoever had helped contribute for the food for everybody today. But it looks like a lot of people who were sitting down eating have finished eating, and yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end my live stream for a little bit, and then if you know, people start to come and are open to have some conversations, we'll open those dialogues, and I'll start my live stream back up. But the only people that are here in opposition is the gentleman with the chain around his neck, the hatchet on his side, and the shirt, "Don't let the sun go down," and then his girlfriend. And then there are, a whole group of people along the side of the road holding signs. Some people sitting down, talking amongst themselves, having conversations. It's... Make sure, share this video into some of these Harrison groups. Make sure the locals know that, we want some people to come out and talk with us and to listen to their frustrations, listen to their concerns, and we want to open up that dialogue. So let's see. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. I do plan to be here at least another 2 hours. So I hope to see some of y'all come down. I apologize for my ignorance going into last week's protest, not knowing the full story, and I'm glad a lot more of that story has come through, and I'd love to talk to y'all about it. But my name is Dan Whitfield, and I'm the independent candidate running for United States Senate here in Arkansas. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure you have a safe Labor Day weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Wear a mask, protect yourself, your family, and the people around you. Socially distance, be safe. May God bless y'all. And